Hi, my name's BlindFrog, and as you saw from the title and probably the thumbnail, should Trials of Osiris have freelance mode? Hi. Let's crack about something that even I am afraid to talk about.
The time before House of Wolves, these two friends who I play games with all the time, and so I knew this 3v3 thing was coming. And so my two like buddies and I, we would play threes for hours every night. And I didn't tell them what we were doing, because you kind of want your friends to experience it the way that players are going to. But I was like, oh, we're doing this thing. In my head, I'm like, we're doing this thing, so I want to get the communication down, get used to playing with everyone. And we played for hours and hours and hours of threes back in the day. And then Trials came out. And Trials was our Friday night. Every week, Trials, we played. But it was this time where you're like, oh, I have this thing to look forward to. I have this thing to look forward to every week. This sweaty, stressful, high stakes activity. And right now, we are missing that. And I know we're missing it. I know we are missing it. We are going to fix it.
So, as we know, the Trials of Osiris has came back with the Season of the Worthy. Now, I've noticed that a lot of PvP channels and a lot of just regular Destiny channels are just hyping up the Trials of Osiris event. Now, if you're a Destiny 2 player and you are a free-to-play or you have just recently bought Shadowkeep Forsaken, this is new to you. And if you were around for Trials of the 9, you know a little bit of the gist of Trials. Now, if we have the OG veterans like me myself that have played Trials, we know how Trials goes, but we know how Trials went for Trials of Osiris and Trials of the 9. You had to have a group to the event. Now, to everyone else, this is no problem. Probably everyone has friends or a clan to do this. Now, this is out for the new players. The new players that picked up the game think that it is fun and doesn't have a clan, or they don't have that many friends that are PvP driven. This is why I feel like that maybe that a Trials of Osiris for Destiny 2 should have freelance. Now, this is just an idea that I had, because I noticed that no one's really talked about it. They only talked about how to win Trials. Don't have a 3-stack of snipers, don't have a 3-stack of shotguns. Now, in my personal opinion, those are smart ideas. You shouldn't, have this, shouldn't have that. Optimize your loadouts and, have a coordinated team, have a communication. But what if there is the people that don't have that, don't have a team, don't have people to communicate with? We all know that competitive in Destiny has a freelance mode. They added that in, I believe, I can't remember which season, but they added it in. And what I've noticed, there's people that do freelance and they don't have a team to go into comp with. I feel like that Trials, if it is, if it's going to have a freelance mode, is it going to be incorporated where people can just do Trials and partner up with people that are looking for people to partner up and go in? This is a question and an idea that, I want to present and I want the community to talk about, because we know Trials isn't going to drop right away. It does come out, I believe, checking the date, comes out on the 13th of March. And so this has enough time for us to speculate on more of the freelance, or is it not going to be freelance? Is it gated and you have to have a full fire team before starting the event? What is it? Like, me personally, if it has a freelance mode, that's nice. It allows people that don't have fire teams to go in and do a match with a whole entire fire team they don't have full communication to. Because obviously, if you have played the game mode Elimination, no one goes in there with a full team. Now, if you have gone up against a full team and you have 2 randos on your team and you dominate that entire group, you know, that's called, you know, good communication or picking up signs. Now, you could have carried them, or you guys had an equal share. With this, I feel like there should be not a gate where you have to have a full fire team to go into trials. I feel like you could go in without anyone and still come out with maybe a victory. And we know that back in Trials of Osiris, back in Destiny 1, there was boons, and I feel like boons will help out with this. Now, I feel like the boons from Destiny 1, should make a comeback, and I think they will. But I feel like that if we do have like a freelance mode, or it is a matchmaking service. When I mean matchmaking service, I mean like you go in and you get match made with people on your team and against another people of the opposite team at your skill level and by your connection. I know that Bungie has released saying that it'll be based on your connection, which that is great. I've been tired of seeing foreign players. Now I get it. I'm not trying to be any towards a racist or anything, but I live in America, and I know for sure I don't live next to the Pro Leagues team from China, because I just don't. I have more of not that. But if that only applies to like doing 6v6s and doing Supremacy, Classic Mix, which I don't even know if Classic Mix is coming back, and they might have took in some of the PvP advice. I know some people have talked about this. It's a little touchy, but I feel like Classic Mix should just be the regular rotation, because there is a little bit too much on the PvP screen, just like back in Destiny 1. There's a lot, and a lot of people only did certain events. No one really did that. Did any other of the PvP playlists. I know Rumble is one that still has been used till today. Some still use it in D1, since D1 doesn't have that big of a player base, even though it doesn't have. I've noticed that in Destiny 1 there isn't that much of PvP action. It takes forever to get in a lobby. Now, I'm not trying to focus on D1. This is D2. I feel like if they allowed this freelance, or just you go into trials and you matchmake with people, you get a team and you go versus a team, I feel like that would be pretty cool. But at the same time, it does make it kind of weird. Why should people that don't have a full team play it if they don't have a full team? I feel like it gives players a chance that they get a little bit of a chance to get loot, because as back in D1 with trials, you could still get loot. Now, you weren't going to the lighthouse, but you still got loot from doing trials, and including in Trials of the 9. I really didn't play that much Trials of the 9. I didn't really care for it, in my honest opinion. It was cool, but it just didn't scratch the itch like Osiris did. So I just want to bring this to the table to the community. Should Trials of Osiris have this quote-unquote freelance, more of you just go in and you go matchmake with people, and you get a team and you go versus a team that's already probably teamed up in a clan or a group of friends? Should Trials have this, or do you think that no, Trials should not have this, and it should be only gated if you have a full fire team? I'm pro for both, but I know that some of it is a little bit broken. But again, Bungie did state that they took away the artifact power leveling inside Trials. So how I see it is that they might have this already thought out, and they have it where you can go in and you don't have to collaborate a team, because if you collaborate a team, props on you. You have a you have a team that you can go into trials with, but the people that are brand new to Destiny, they have to go through LFG, and we all know LFG is nice and all, but there is no good servers or good websites, and there is no bad website or no good servers. What I mean by servers, I mean Discord servers. People sometimes use Discord. I use the Destiny LFG a little bit, not that much. And I use a little bit of other YouTubers ones that they also have LFGs in it, which, if you follow any of the Destiny community YouTubers, that they normally have like a Discord, and you can mostly find LFG for Destiny or for other games. So that kind of pays off. You think that you're in a good community, but still there are some nasty people in the communities that are kind of rude. I'm just trying to make this more of a safer place for people that are a little too scared to talk to people. I mean, everyone, I get it that, being open and talking to people, making friends is great, Destiny community. But again, there's two sides to a community. We all know that. Well, actually, there's three, but the third one doesn't really count because it's, if you go on Tumblr and, well, actually, never mind, they took that away, but I think you get what I mean. But there's like two sides to a community. There's always a positive and there's always a negative. The negative almost always presents the community, and then you find the positive. Destiny is kind of in that weird state right now where there is positive and negative that presents it. And I honestly, I want to open my arms up to the people that are new and tell them that, I am here if you need a person to play, because, I feel like for Trials to come back, I get it that it's a very, very competitive, very sweaty. This is what everyone grinds out for. Everyone comes from work on the weekend to come and play some Trials every weekend. And I feel bad for the people that just, they don't have friends that be like, hey man, Friday through Sunday we're gonna just grind out Trials. No, some people just don't have that, and I feel bad for them. That's why I feel like they should have the match, a form of matchmaking where you should go in there freelance or just straight up, Trials. I mean, if Destiny, if Bungie wants to bring back the Destiny guided games, because I know there's some that still do guided. Well, actually, I think guided is disabled and gone from Destiny servers now, I believe. So I believe you cannot do guided games, but there should be a form of a way that people should be able to matchmake with other people in Trials. Again, this makes me sound like I want this. Me personally, I do have a clan, I can do this, but I really want to address this for the people that don't have a clan and don't have friends to do this. Now, there is people that can just go on LFG and make friends after that and have a good time. But again, with Trials of Osiris coming back, it brings the Gallahorn effect. And if you don't know what Gallahorn effect is, if you're a Destiny 2 player or free-to-play for Destiny 2, the Gallahorn effect was a effect that, it was an exotic, it was like the most rarest, hard thing to get, and, it made you have this status of, you were able to do raids, and pretty much it was just raids and nightfalls. And since that was it made it where it was hard for people to do raids and nightfalls, and you were supposed to have this specific weapon. Now with Trials, it's not with specific weapons anymore. It's more of KD ratios. It's more how skillful are you. Most clans do this. My clan did this. I'm not trying to boast or anything about, hey, I'm good, or I'm just saying, people sometimes just can't make the cut, and I feel like there's no way for them to enjoy Trials without, having, people to play with, or having at least a chance to play Trials. Because if it's just going to be gated away and they can't make a fire team, kind of gets hard. Now I get it, no one wants to risk their card and get like 3 losses and only get 2 wins out of their card, and they had to get a whole new card. I understand that. I feel that personally, but I feel like the boons come in play, but I know the boons only affect once, and so I'm very mixed on should Trials of Osiris have a freelance matchmaking. You know, like when I'm trying to say freelance, I mean that they try to have a, you know, you just join and make a fire team. I know I have repeated this multiple times, but I just want to get the point across that, you know, people just, I get it, you know, we're a community and we should already be comfortable doing LFGs, but as we know that Destiny 2 has gone free to play and Trials of Osiris will be open to play, even though, yes, it's going to be locked away from a quest. You know, we have to do quest lines to do Trials, but I feel like we should at least have open arms for the new players, and the new players that don't feel comfortable doing LFG, you know, are a little too scared because of the horror stories of LFGs. You know, I want, for this new season, since Trials has come back, I want the Destiny community to be a little bit more open arms. I get it, you know, we get toxic sometimes. I get it, we get a little too competitive on certain things, but this is for the Destiny community. I feel like if we do this, you know, if we have Trials, and Trials is just part of our life now, you know, we need to have at least a bit of open arms to let new players try. But again, we do have to be cautious for this, because maybe Trials should be gated for only fire teams only. I mean, fire teams only, if you guys have been confused, fire team only meaning that you have to have a fire team before going into Trials and matchmaking against another team. That's another thing. If Trials doesn't have this and it has to be gated for people to have only a team, this might be the only way for Destiny to stop cheaters. And as if you guys notice, cheaters have made a really high, you know, appearance in Destiny 2, mostly on PC. Yes, there is still some cheaters on, you know, console. There has been cheaters back in D1 of Trials, mostly DDoSers, but you know, it's a little bit more scarier on PC, and that one makes it a little bit more scarier to play Destiny sometimes. But it's more of, since we're gonna have to go through quests, is it going to be also gated that you have to have a fire team? And if it's going to, I think this also stops the hackers, well, cheaters, my bad. That means that cheaters will have to form together, or this, what makes it even more scary is that when you're doing LFG, there's this guy that has this sweet, you know, KD, but he only started playing the game, you know, from his account that he has. He only been playing for about maybe a good solid, maybe a, well, let's say like good solid like a week of hours, you know, and he has, you know, decent okay weapons and everything, but he has this like cool KD, you know, it's kind of reliable and everything. How are we gonna know if you're partner up with this guy that's actually legit, or are they a aimbot or a cheater? It's very controversial. This is very a gray area of a conversation to bring up, and I feel like it should be talked about. If you have any idea of if they should or shouldn't, what I mean, any ideas, I mean, share your thoughts on the subject in the comments below. I just wanted to bring this to the community and, you know, see if anyone has also thought about this, because I obviously have been brewing and thinking about this, and I have gone through many thought processes of eliminating what would be good and what would be bad, and realizing that this is a very gray conversation. Having Trials back is great, but is it good enough to keep the community alive? Will this also rejoin the community? Will this bring in more players? You know, will this also be the scare of the cheaters? You know, is this also going to draw in more cheaters? Obviously, we noticed that it has, because people have been cheating and using a lot of aimbots. But again, it's a very gray conversation on should we have it gated only to fire teams only, or should it be open to all to matchmaking after you do the long quest for Trials of Osiris, which again we don't know what it is. This has been recorded before the release of the Worthy, the season of the Worthy, so do take this with a grain of salt, because this is probably going to be a tab late after season of the Worthy probably comes out. But I want to know what people think. If you want to do a like maybe a reaction video, or you guys just want to just talk about it in the comments, you can. I feel like this is a very good conversation starter, and if any of the higher up Destiny community is listening to this, what do you think? What is your thoughts on this? Me, I feel like it's a yes and a no, and it's more of a gray area where I can't say yes or no. I know there's some people that can be definitely yes and there be definitely no. So just talk about it in the comments. This has been BlindFrog on should Trials of Osiris have Freelance. Thank you for listening. Leave a like if you like it, subscribe for more videos, and hit that bell icon for more notifications of when I post a new video. Thank you all for watching, and peace.